P. P. Mana blok dah kecil ni.
Aduh. Tak mute. Saya ada mute. Dia kata ada ni.
Buka kamera je kat dia. Silent tak silent?
Dia benda masalah.
Dah masuk belum gambar ni?
Cepat.
Dia tak masuk lagi tu. Dah. Mana link ya Allah. Gila lampu.
Cepatlah P.
Test mic dengar.
Dengar.
Okay.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi to our beloved lecturer Sir Ilyas Shafiq and fellow members. My name is Muhammad Ashraf Bezan Abidin, and my group members is Amir Hafizi and Occupational. We are going to present about the landslide disaster in gold mine at Nicaragua. Next slide. So as we all can see, there are 4 parts in our slide. The first part will be presented by me. I'll present to you all about the background of disaster. For the second part, which is the causes of disaster, Afifahullah will present the topic to you guys. And the third part will be presented by Amir Hafizi, which are the topic is the theory of the accident that occur in the disaster. And the last part will be presented by all of us, which is the recommendation. Next slide. So, there is a quote that says, safety isn't expensive, it's priceless. Next slide. For the first part, which is the background disaster, I will share to you guys about the introduction. For introduction, I will share to you guys about the definition of the landslide. Landslide refers to downward sliding of huge quantities of landmass which occur along steep slopes of hills or mountains and may be sudden or slow. Landslide is a downward or outward movement of soil, rock or vegetation under the influence of gravity. Landslide is also called land. Landslides are major threat to the human settlement, environment and infrastructure. They are mostly hill events and cover a wide variety of landforms and processing involving the movement of soil and rock downslope under the influence of gravity. Next slide. So, the incident of the day. The disaster occurred on a hillside honeycombed by tunnel dug over Over the years, the mine did not have a license to run a mine on private property. As an estimated says that 3,000 people work in Nicaragua Alvensan mines. From 3,000 workers, 7 to 18 workers reported trapped in the tunnel after the disaster happened. When the rescue workers rescued them, they found two men died trapped in the tunnel. So that's all from me. The second part, which is the causes of the landslide, will be presented by Afifakullah.
Okay, thank you, Ashraf. So now we'll talk about the causes. So there are three. First one is natural factor. The second is anthropogenic factor, and the third one is the other causes. So next slide. So the first one is natural factors. For the natural factors, they have a geological factor. The geology setting that places permeable sands and gravels above impermeable layers of silt and clay or bedrock. Next is gravity. As we know that gravity is always point into the center of the earth, so it works more effectively on steeper slopes. The last one is heavy and prolonged rainfall. Slides occur often with intense rain by creating zone of weakness. Also, water tables rise with heavy rain makes some slopes unstable. So next, for the anthropogenic factor, first one is inappropriate drainage system. The surface runoff of irrigated water on slopes exposes soil under cultivation to erosion. Part of this water is absorbed by soil, increasing its weight, which can put an additional load on the slopes. And the second is cutting and deep excavation on slopes for buildings, roads, canals, and mining. They may cause modification of natural slopes, blockings of surface drainage, loading of critical slopes, and withdrawal to toe support promoting vulnerability of critical slopes. So the last one for the anthropogenic is change in slope or land use pattern, deforestation, agricultural practices on steep slopes. It's contributed to creep and withdrawal of toe support in many cases. So we go to the last, which is the other causes. The first one is human influence. They undercutting along the hill slope for laying roads or rail tracks that may result into the instability. Next is lithology. Rock which are rich in clay, mica, and the other minerals are prone to landslide because these minerals are prone to weathering. The last one is groundwater or associated water. It is the main factor responsible for slippage. It's supposed the hard or massive rock are underlined by softer rocks like shale or clay bed. So that's all from me. We move to the next presenter, which is Amin Hafizi. Thank you.
Thank you, Afiq, for the presentation just now. Next, I will continue our presentation regarding theory of an accident. What is theory of the accident? Theory of accident is model based on theories to predict and prevent accident. So from our case, the suitable theories are combination theory. Combination theory is a theory that defines the cause of the accident cannot stand alone, but it's on theory. Next slide. So now we proceed to first theory, which is domino theory. There are a few reasons related to this theory, which is first, social environment. This can be related with the work setting of the accident, whereby the workers works underground that have been excavated illegally. Second is the fault of person, which is the workers did not follow the safe work procedure due to non-existence of risk assessment and also training that did not been provided to them, which is also can be related to the third factor, which is unsafe act due to zero awareness about safety in conducting their tasks. Next theory is human factor theory, in which they perform their tasks without proper training and also without supervision. That leads to human error, hence the byproduct is the accident. After that is the system theory. They are divided into three, which are person, environment, and machine. For person, it is due to the lack of supervision, training for workers, and also no safe work procedure, as is caused this accident based on this theory. For environment, there is no risk assessment being conducted which caused the work setting and also a geographical environment of the site were exposed with various hazards that did not be identified and controlled. For machine, generally the machine also is a theory of the accident. For the last is Peterson's accident theory, which incompatible workstation and tools. From this case, it is because the work site are illegal site. So when they are illegal, there is no assessment by the authority. So from the case, all the tools that be used are not safe to be used and also did not manage properly. I think that's all for theory. So we continue.
Okay. Thank you, Amir Bizi and Afifakullah for the presentation. So for the last part, which is a recommendation. So for recommendation, we are going to give our opinion on how to prevent the accident from happen. So there are 3 points. The first point is avoid mining when rainfall. The second one is engineered structure, and the third one is land use. So for the first point about mining when rainfall, Afiq Fakullah will present it to you guys.
Okay, thank you, Ashraf. So I will present the first way to prevent the landslide. So the first one is avoid mining when rainfall. As I told before, the one of the causes of landslide is a natural fracture, which the point is heavy and prolonged rainfall. If there rains, the slide will occur often. So it is very dangerous for our life if we go mining when it's rainfall. So I think that's all from me.
Thank you, Afiq Fakullah. So for the second point, which is engineered structure, represented by Amir Bizi.
Thank you, Ashraf. So for the recommendation, I think the engineer structure are one of the important part for this case. With strong foundation can withstand or take the ground movement force. Underground installations such as pipe and cable should be made flexible to move in order to withstand force caused by the landslide. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Amir Bizi. So for the last point, which is the land use, so we recommend three practices such as in construction of roads, irrigation channels. For example, proper care is to be taken to avoid blockage of natural drainage. The second one is to total avoidance of settlement in the risk zone should be made mandatory. And the last one is no construction of building in areas beyond a certain degrees of slope. So that's all from our group. Thank you, Sir Ilyas and fellow
Thank you.
members.
Thank you, sir. Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.